Hi, this is Mark News from Plant Talk Radio. Thanks for subscribing and listening to our podcast, Your Gardening Questions from Plant Talk Radio. To help keep this podcast free for you, we're partnering with Stoke Seeds. More than just a listing of vegetable and flower seeds, the Stoke Seeds website is a complete resource center with valuable information on seed starting, planting, and harvesting, plus all the garden accessories you need to make your garden the envy of the neighborhood. Now, pre-order your free 2017 gardening guide today from stokeseeds.com, cultivating successful growers for generations. We'll have more to come from Stoke Seeds in the next few weeks. For now, on to today's question. Another email that we got from Connie this week, Fred at planttalkradio.com. Connie writes in and says, I have a house plant. I'm not sure what variety it is. We've always just called it a rubber tree plant. Okay. It's about 8 feet tall, gets plenty of light. We keep it moist. It's starting to touch the ceiling, and it's getting very full. Do you have any tips on pruning that plant?
Well, the answer is definitely yes. Now, first thought I have, a number of years ago, I thought I was joking with somebody when I told them to simply cut a hole in the ceiling. Well, no, they were dead serious. How do you handle this? Because they too had one that had gotten up in that 8-foot level, and that's just about the height of a downstairs room in the house. Now then, they are prunable. I would recommend to all that you'd start pruning them at 4 feet instead of 8. But you're going to be topping them, which is a term we don't like to use on outdoor trees. But you have no choice at home. I would cut down, and as long as you have to cut it down, I'd go down probably 1.5 feet and cut above a bud. Now, as the leaves grow out, right in the axil of that leaf, there is a bud. Sometimes very obvious, sometimes not so. Stay 3/8 of an inch above that. Cut on a slight angle. And if you can, then, if this plant is too big to be moved and turned and so on, cut toward a bud that is away from the light so that it's not going to grow more rapidly toward light and be way off center. That is not terribly critical, but you just take it down. You keep right on taking care of it as you have. It will come out. You can then each year, and I'm going to assume it grows 4 to 6 inches. Each year you can cut it back down by half that new growth, and it will turn, well, let's just call it round-topped instead of a straight trunk, assuming that's what you still have. It's quite doable. Just calm your nerves and cut. Now,
oh yeah,
yeah.
You know, my wife is a school teacher.
Yes,
and one year she, right when we first got married, she first became a teacher. She sort of inherited one. It was in her room. So summer came and she brought it home, and we grew it at home for many years. That thing was indestructible. We could cut it. Yep. I think the dog spilled it over 5 or 6 times. We had kids throwing stuff at it and pulling leaves off of it and everything. I mean, it's pretty indestructible.
Well, they are. Now, you can also quite readily kill them because people will tend to overwater.
Okay.
And that's an enemy to almost all indoor plants. They're growing, and you can take them out on the deck in the summertime, well into the later part of May. You can bring them in before it gets anywhere near, well, let's just say below 50 is best. Anyhow, you can take them in and out. You can prune them. They are indestructible when you keep them moist, not wet. That is one of the big keys. Now, one of the other things that people tend to do with big rubber tree plants and many, many other things, they tend to try to put them in a bigger pot too soon. You don't want them running root bound to the point of bursting the sides of the container. That's way too late to move them. But be sure that it's necessary. That's one of the big things. Because to have reasonably adjusted the pressure on the roots, the compaction of the root ball and so on, will help slow the plant down a little bit so that it doesn't get too big. There is, in the Franklin Park Conservatory, a fiddle leaf fig that is a trunk of, been a while since I've seen it, but it's at least 15, 18 inches in diameter, and the tree has had to be pruned within the greenhouse. I I'm not sure the height of the ceiling in there, but 35 or more feet. I mean, this is one big tropical plant.
Yeah.
And it's one of the things that when they reorganized a lot of the space in there, they very, very carefully saved, because it should go on for another long time. Now, it's well out of a container and so on. But, yes, Connie, you can prune it. You can then, if you wish, just for fun or fun for the kids, or a donation to a teacher like Mark's wife, you can put the cut part, take off the bottom couple leaves, get some good potting soil, keep it only just moist, plunge this root structure or bottom of the stub, shall we say, into the pot 3 or 4 inches deep. You may have to shore it up a little bit with some support, since there's nothing to hold the thing upright. Or you can cut it in several sections. Let's just say you take off 18 inches. You could make 2 pieces out of it, root them both, and start whole new rubber plants. Now, if you get to 100, then we make you get a nursery dealer's license. But in the meantime, I have done the same thing at home with several other plants.
Yeah.
So now I have too much.
Yeah, nursery dealer's license and a higher ceiling.
That's right.
Yeah, it sounds like. Hey, thanks again for listening to today's podcast. If you have any questions for Fred, go ahead and email us at fred@planttalkradio.com. And for the best selection of vegetable, flower, and herb seeds available, go to www.stokeseeds.com. Pre-order your free 2017 gardening guide today from stokeseeds.com, cultivating successful growers for generations.